begin with a look at the new ban in Russian vehicles. As of September 15th, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs has declared that vehicles registered in Russia can no longer be imported to Finland in accordance with the European Union's sanctions related to the invasion of Ukraine. The import ban does not apply to U.S. citizens living in Russia or dual citizens. The ministry reports that the ban will continue until the March of 2024 and will be revised if necessary.
As of January 1st, 2023, the Canadian Mortgage and Housing Corporation has prohibited the purchase of residential property in Canada. The ban prevents non-Canadians from purchasing residential property for the next 10 years. The Government of Canada passed this law in hopes of making housing more affordable for people living in Canada. Housing costs in major cities have reached an all-time high, with residential properties in Toronto and Vancouver averaging $2.1 million. If caught, non-Canadians or Canadians aiding in the purchase of residential properties can be fined up to $50,000.
In other Canadian news, Health Canada granted an exemption under the Controlled Drugs and Substance Act to British Columbia from January of 2023 to January 2026. Adults in British Columbia will not be subject to criminal charges for the personal possession of small amounts of certain illegal drugs. This comes amid to opioid epidemic in the province and is seen as a critical step in the fight against toxic drugs. The exemption is not applicable to all legal substances, and if an individual may possess over 2.5 grams, this also applies to certain locations and public spaces like K-12 schools, playgrounds, and airports.
After outcry from the public amid rising statistics in dog attacks, Finland has prohibited the purchase and import of the pit bull. As of April 1st, 2023, the ban will begin and the breed will no longer be legal in the country. Those owning pit bulls prior to the implementation will be authorized to maintain ownership of their pets unless an incident occurs. Police and insurance companies have confirmed that attacks have been on the rise for nearly a decade and urge current owners to consider rehoming the dogs due to aggression statistics. Finland joins the United Kingdom, Denmark, New Zealand, and 40 other countries in the breed-specific legislation.
Statistics Finland has voiced concern over the 2023 birth rates, in the year having record lows. After examination of numbers, they determined that the increase of population throughout 2023 was not due to new births, but rather to new immigrants. The population increased by 20,357 people between January and May. As far as deaths go, the number of births was 11,262, lower than the deaths. The topic of discussion has now come up in the Parliament as concerns grow amongst government officials and how to increase the birth rates in Finland. That's all for tonight, folks. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you tomorrow.